very excited about this piece for many different reasons. Again, I think that the honesty of what I have gone through is an opportunity for people to know that they're not in this situation alone. And I think that we have to be careful when we quickly and frivolously say, I want to suffer as Christ suffered. Because in order to be betrayed, you're only betrayed by people that are close and that you know. And so a lot of us have ran from the church because we feel like, the church hurt me. But we said we wanted to be like Christ, and it was the church who rejected Christ. It was his own. He came into his own did not even receive him. And so there's a lot of things that I did and a lot of things that I actually really didn't do. And honestly, I'm guilty. I can honestly say that I'm guilty of so much sin. I'm guilty of so much sin. But the response to the sin from different aspects of the church really put me in a place to where that it made me think that I had to do something for my repentance. I had to do some works for my repentance. I needed to fast in order to make myself clean. I needed to go volunteer somewhere because I needed to cleanse myself from the sins that I had committed. I didn't know that the blood was enough. It wasn't able to believe that because of how strongly the church came against me, even when I said, hey, I'm guilty. And so because that unconditional love wasn't projected, it hurt. And I wasn't put in a position where arms were wrapped around me with the admittance of sin. There's a lot of things that I didn't do that I was accused of, just like Christ. But at the same time, I didn't feel that love. But in that experience, it made me extremely compassionate towards the people of God in a way that I had never been, because I too have been guilty of just passing judgment. I can't believe you would do something like, how could you? There's no possible way you could be saved, and fill in all those blanks. And I was the one who was passing judgment like that. But when judgment came on me, it hurt to the fullest degree. And I remember getting so much to a point of being so hurt by my sin and being completely cut off by the church to the point to where I was ready to kill myself. And I debated with God and I said, God, if this is me and I'm guilty of this sin and I'm not even aware that I'm guilty of this sin, I think I need to go ahead and take myself out now. And I thought about many different things, even to the specifics of how to do it, what would be the least way that would offend my family, all these different things. In that moment, I knew I had to cleave to a secret place quickly. And two very influential people in my life are my mom and my grandmother. And I went up to see them. And they began to love on me through the love of Christ. And one thing my grandmother said to me, she said, sweetheart, if you hit me in my face and then ask for forgiveness, I would forgive you. So there's nothing that you can do that can separate you from God's love. Don't ever forget that. And that's why I hold Romans 8 so close to my heart. Because no matter where I'm at, even when I'm acting a fool, I still have access to repentance. And so I forgot that. And God had to show me it's already been paid for. It's already been done. And not only that, when you try to add to the cross, you offend me blatantly. You offend the fact that I sent my son and his blood was the redemption for everything. What you did not surprise me. I knew before the foundation of the world what you would do. And I still love you. And so the whole truth means like, tell the truth. God is the truth. Christ is the truth. So if you're going to tell the truth, you can put me out like you want to. But the reality is, man, that Christ redeems and his blood has saved me. And there's nothing that you can take away from me anymore, any longer. You cannot have my joy. You cannot have my freedom. You cannot have my peace ever in life, because I have access to all of that when Christ decided to take all of that and bear it on his back. And he carried me to the cross. He carried my sin. And that is what I literally hold most close to my heart. I understood the gospel in a different way. So if we're going to tell the truth, let's tell the whole truth. Yes, I'm guilty. Yes, I did it. But Christ saves. And there's nothing that you have ever done, nothing anybody has ever done, no sin so huge or so small that God can't deliver you from, that God will not say, I can't believe you did this. I hate you. be away from me, get away. God's not going to do that. His arms are always open with a true heart of repentance and understanding and acknowledgement of what we've done, and acknowledgement of our sin, just being really broken and contrite before him. He honors that, and he loves us, and it teaches me, it taught me so much to be dependent on nobody but him, to study to show myself approved and not get reliant on what the preacher says only because they've been right in the past. So my hope is in him, and that's what the whole truth is about. Our hope is in him. So regardless of what I've done, and there's been so much that I have done, and there's been so much that I'm guilty of, stuff that I am shameful to utter to myself out loud in a room alone. But Christ said, I know you. I know the depths of you. I know the most ugly parts of you, the parts that people would look at you and run in the opposite direction. But I still love you. And there's no love on this earth like his love.